Okay, so what's going on, guys? It's GPH Streams here, and welcome back to the 7 Nights Idle Adventure. Today, let's rank the top 7 units on this game using the new Highlord hero, Arianrhod. But before we proceed, let's review first the skills description of this new Highlord unit. So Arianrhod. So currently my Arianrhod is at the level 90, and it is already at 5 stars, and it is a melee type unit. She is an Agonix affiliated hero, and the attack speed, that would be 200, guys. And first, so we have here the basic attack. It deals a damage equal to 100% of attack to the target. And next, the crit hit attack. It says here it deals crit hit damage equal to 300% of attack to the target. And then it decreases the skill's caster cooldown by 5 seconds. And also it grants the caster the Revelation of Elena buff for 2 seconds upon successful attack. So if you are a new player, I would suggest to go for this new Highlord, guys. Go for this one, because currently she is the top tier Highlord unit in the game, both PvE and also maybe on PvP. And I saw one of my friend who has already a 10 stars Arianrhod. She is freaking good, guys, in PvP as well as on PvE. Okay, so the Revelation of Elena increases the final attack by 30%, and also it says here it decreases, or it increases the crit hit rate by 24%, and the final bonus damage, that would be 24%. And next we have here the active skill called Call of the Sky. It grants Power of Destiny buff to the caster for 10 seconds, and it deals damage equal to 3,500% of attack to the target. And also grants the Dimensional Shackles buff to allies for 10 seconds upon successful attack. So the Power of Destiny, this is a defensive buff for herself that nullifies damage taken 10 times, and also it increases the crit hit rate resist by 24%, as well as reduction rate by 24%, and this buff cannot be removed by any buff removal. The Dimensional Shackles is for the allied units, including herself, that increases the attack modifier of active skills by 1.5 times, and also it decreases the damage taken of all heroes together with herself by 30%, and this buff cannot be removed by any buff removal. Okay, guys, so let's proceed to the top 7 DPS units using this Highlord Arianrhod. So let's change it. I already here the hero composition. Okay, that would be on my team too. Okay, so this one, guys, this one, these are the top 7 units currently together with Arianrhod. Only DPS, top 7 DPS, guys. But some of these heroes are very decent, guys, on units that have no crowd control immunity. Okay, so that would be Michaela, guys. Okay, so first, let's start. The top tier current unit, that would be Rageous, guys. So Rageous, together with Arianrhod, Rageous can deal massive damage in PvE. So it says here, we have here some attack speed that is 149. The basic attack, it says here, it deals damage equal to 300% of attack to the target, as well as we have here some crit hit attack. So this crit hit attack, it says here it deals crit hit damage equal to 800% of the attack to the target, and this is freaking nice. And also we have here it decreases the caster's skill cooldown by 2 seconds, and also it grants a Fudina Storm buff to allies for 2 seconds upon successful attack. And in addition, it inflicts some curse. So this Fudina Storm, you have here increase in attack speed by 24% and also critical hit rate by 24%. And we have here some curse which enables the enemy to recover some HP. So the best skill here, that would be skill cooldown for himself, and this Fudina Storm is an allied buff, guys, including himself. So take note, this is a melee type, and we have here some affiliation that would be the 7 Knights of Old. This Radius is currently at 7 stars, and I need here like somehow like 3 more copies in order to make this to 8 stars. Only make heroes to 8 stars, guys, and do not make those heroes beyond 8 stars, because that would be not that efficient anymore. Okay, 8 stars is already freaking good, and I would suggest to invest most of your resources on other units. Okay, make them to 8 stars. And next, so we have here the active skill called the Thunder or Blue Thunderstorm, which has a range that is also 35, and then a skill cooldown that is 10 seconds, guys. It grants the Endless Thunderbolts buff to the caster for 10 seconds and deals damage equal to 2,500% of attack to the target. It inflicts Blue Thunderstorm debuff for 10 seconds upon successful attack, and skill damage increases by 40% multiplicatively for each of the following debuff types applied to the target. So by using this Rageous, you should have here Burn, Poison, and Frostbite on your team. Okay, units that possesses these debuffs, guys, so that it can have some increase in 40%. Okay, for each of the following debuffs types. So 40% times 3, that would be 120%, guys. Okay, so Endless Thunderbolts increases final attack. We have your 30%, as well as increase in crit hit rate by 24%, and also final bonus damage by 24%. And this Blue Thunderstorm, this is a debuff that decreases reduction rate by 24%, as well as crit hit rate by 24%. Okay, next, after that Rages, the second best DPS unit, and that would be Melia, guys. Okay, Melia. So Melia here has an attack speed that is 200, the affiliation that will be 7 Knights of Old. We have here a range type, and if you'll check here the basic attack, we have here some decent basic attack that is 600% of attack to the target. And next, it deals crit hit damage equal to 600% of attack to the target. This is already good, guys. And it grants Shiny Crystal Scale buff to the caster for 2 seconds upon successful attack. And also it grants a Crystal of Dragon's Mirror buff to allies for 2 seconds. And also it can inflict Crystal Dragon's Curse buff or debuff on the hit target for 2 seconds. So we have your Shiny Crystal Scale. It increases the final attack by 30% and also the reduction rate by 24%. So this is an offensive buff, and we have here some defensive buff, guys. And also we have your Crystal Dragon's Mirror. It increases the final bonus damage by 24%. And this is a buff to all allies. This is a buff to herself only. Okay. And next we have your Crystal Dragon Curse. So it decreases the final crit hit damage by 24% and also reduction rate by 24%. And we have here also some Frostbite, guys. We have here already Frostbite that is linked to our Rages. So we need Melia together with Rages. And finally, we have here some active skill. You can see here the range that will be 120. And of course, the skill cooldown that will be 10 seconds. It grants a Radiant Guardian Dragon buff to the caster for 10 seconds and deals damage equal to 4,000% of attack in a 12-meter fan-shaped area around the caster, in front of the caster, I mean. And it grants here some Crystal Dragon's Majesty buff to allies for 10 seconds upon successful attack. So this Radiant Dragon or Guardian Dragon, it increases the attack speed by 24%, and this is a buff to herself together with increase in 24% by crit hit rate and also the final crit hit damage by 24%. So the Crystal Dragon's Majesty, it increases the final weakness attack damage we have here by 24%, and this is a buff to all allies. So this is the second best DPS unit currently using that Highlord Arianrhod in PvE. Okay, so next, take a guess. That would be, okay, my God, Mariner Bia, guys. Mariner Bia is freaking insane together with this Highlord Arianrhod. Currently, this is the third best DPS unit together with Highlord Arianrhod, guys. So, this Mariner Bia is a range type. We have here the affiliation that will be Bia. And take a look at that attack speed. That is 200. And it says here, on this basic attack, we have your 500% of attack to the target. And that is freaking nice already, guys. But apparently, I haven't made this Bia, guys. I haven't invested in this Bia, but rather I invested on Helenia. I will wait for another DPS unit aside from this Mariner Bia. Maybe on the next collab unit, guys. That would be the D7 collab. Okay, so next we have here the crit hit attack. It is crit hit damage equal to 500% of attack to the target, and it grants some Mariner buff to the caster for 2 seconds upon successful attack. And also inflicts Anchor of Judgment debuff on the hit target for 2 seconds. So this Mariner, okay, this is a buff to the caster, to herself. It increases final crit hit damage by 24%. As well as we have here increases in final critical hit rate resist by 24%. Actually, there is no final, guys. Only crit hit rate resist. And Anchor of Judgment, we have here a decrease in final defense. And also it increases the damage taken by 30%. This is freaking nice. And next, we have here the active skill. So it grants a Blue Butterfly buff to the caster for 10 seconds, and it deals damage equal to 3,500% of attack in a 10-meter fan-shaped area around the caster, and it grants Cosplay buff to allies for 10 seconds. Okay, so this Blue Butterfly, this is a buff to the caster that increases the bonus damage rate by 24%, and also the final bonus damage by 24%, and this is freaking insane. We have here the bonus damage, guys. And next, Cosplay. This Cosplay is a buff to all allies. It decreases skill cooldowns of range type allies by 10 seconds, or by 10%, I mean. Take a look at that. And it becomes immune to knockback while the buff is active. So I have here some 10 seconds, guys. So applying this 10%, that would be 9 seconds together with other units, that would be Highlord Arianrhod, this will decrease and decrease. Okay, so next, after this Mariner Bia, that would be Galidus, guys. So Galidus is the 4th best DPS unit currently in the game, together with Highlord Arianrhod. So if you'll take a look at the attack speed, that is 200. And the affiliation of this one, that would be still 7 Knights of Old together with Radius and Melia. We have here a melee type, and if you'll check here the basic attack, it deals damage equal to 500% of attack to the target. And next, the critical hit attack, it says here it deals crit hit damage equal to 680% of attack to the target, and it grants Ice Queen's Blessing buff to the caster for 2 seconds upon successful attack, and also it grants Monarch's Memories buff to allies for 2 seconds. Also inflicts Ethereal Monarch debuff on the hit target for 2 seconds. So this Ice Queen's Blessing buff is only for the caster, in which it increases the bonus damage rate by 24%. And we have here, when attacking a target with Frostbite, it increases the final damage by 50%. So we need here actually Frostbite, guys, for this one. So this makes this Galidus freaking insane, guys. Next, the Monarch's Memories. So this is a buff to all allies that increases the final bonus damage by 24%. And we have your Ethereal Monarch. It increases the crit hit rate resist by 24%, and this will improve your critical hit rate, guys. And also we have here some decreases in reduction rate. So this crit hit rate resist, the buff, is best for units that have some high critical hit rate resist. So this is the opposite of critical hit rate. Okay, so next up we have here the active skill. It grants a deadly decent buff to the caster for 10 seconds and quickly approaches the farthest range type target to deal damage equal to 3000% of attack in a 4 meter around the target, and it deals additional damage equal to 50% of the target's max HP upon successful attack. And this is freaking insane, guys. Additional damage that does not apply when facing powerful targets. So this means that this is not that effective, or this is not effective on bosses. In addition, it inflicts a deadly cold debuff for 5 seconds to hit targets, and when Galidus has fallen, he gains the immortal buff for 10 seconds, limited only to 1 time. So the deadly descent, it nullifies damage taken 5 times, and we have here some increase in critical hit rate by 24%. Deadly cold afflicted with chill and frostbite for the duration of the debuff. So we have your frostbite, guys, and immortal, you got here, it does not fall during the duration of the buff. Okay, so next, guess who is it? That would be Ante, guys. Ante is freaking good together with the new Highlord unit, Arianrhod. So Ante, we have here some attack speed that is 166, and he is a melee type, and the affiliation that would be High the Reaper. So the basic attack, it says here, it deals damage equal to 100% of attack to the target only. But what we need here is this crit hit attack, in which it deals damage equal to 450% of attack to the target. And this one, guys, it decreases this caster's skill cooldown by 2 seconds, and also it removes all buffs from the hit target or from the target upon successful attack. So what we need here is the skill cooldown. And if we'll check here the active skill, grant to another world buff to the caster for 10 seconds, and it deals damage equal to 2000% of attack to the target only. But guys, if you'll take a look at this, we have here some 2 second skill cooldown, and we have here some buff removal. And to the other world buff, it nullifies damage taken 3 times and increases the final attack. Take a look at that. 30%, guys. This is a buff to the caster or to himself. And also we have here some increase in crit hit rate by 24%, final crit hit damage by 24%, and also the final weakness attack rate by 24%. So although we have here only like 2000% of attack, but this buff, guys, is freaking insane. Okay, so next, after that, that would be Helenia Swimsuit, guys, or Michaela. So if ever the boss has no crowd control immunity, then Michaela is the next unit. So if we'll check here, why is it that Michaela is freaking nice, guys, on bosses that have no crowd control immunity? If we'll check here, we have here some attack speed that is 149, and if we'll check the basic attack, we have here 600% of attack to the target. So take note, Michaela is a range type, and we have here the affiliation that would be Magic Society. So it says here, it deals a crit hit damage equal to 450% of attack to the target, and it grants a Snowstorm buff to the caster for 2 seconds. Upon successful attack, it grants Elf Blessing buff to allies for 2 seconds. Okay, so this Snowstorm, it increases the final damage by 30% when attacking target with Frostbite, and also it increases the final damage by 50% when attacking a target with Chill. So our problem here is the Chill, guys, because this Chill does not affect units or enemy units that have crowd control immunity. So this is the reason why. But if ever the boss or the enemy does not possess some crowd control immunity, then Michaela is freaking insane, guys. So we have here also some else blessing. It increases the final attack by 30%. And next, you have here some active skill called the Perfectionist. It grants Heartless buff to the caster for 10 seconds and deals a damage equal to 3,850% of attack to the target. And inflicts a variable control debuff for 10 seconds upon successful attack, and also inflicts a chill debuff on the hit target for 5 seconds. So Heartless, it increases the final critical hit damage by 24%, and we have a valuable control. It increases the crit hit rate received by 24%, and this is freaking good. And we have here chill, guys. We have here chill. So bosses or enemies that have a crowd control immunity cannot be afflicted by this chill. Okay, so that is the reason why. But if you have encounter bosses or enemies that have some crowd control immunity, then it would be Helenia swimsuit, guys. Okay, you will remove that Michaela, guys, from your team. Okay, so about this Helenia swimsuit, we have your range type. Okay, the evaluation that would be Summer Festival. And if you'll take a look at the attack speed, that is 200. That is freaking nice. So if you'll check here the basic attack, we have your 400% of attack to the target. And next, you get here some crit hit attack. It deals crit hit damage equal to 700% of attack to the target, and grants a Valkyrie's a potential buff to the caster for 2 seconds upon successful attack, and also grants Celestial Light buff to allies for 2 seconds, and inflicts Crimson Comet debuff on the hit target for 2 seconds. So this Valkyrie's potential, it increases the final accuracy by 100%, and also the attack speed by 24%. So the Celestial Light, it increases the final bonus damage by 24%, and Crimson Comet, it decreases critical hit rate received by 24%, and also it decreases final accuracy by 60%. Okay, so I really love this decrease in critical hit rate received, and also we got here some decent buff, guys, the Celestial Light, which is a buff to allies. Okay, so next we have here some active skill. It grants Glorious Valkyrie buff to the caster for 10 seconds and deals damage equal to 3,000% of attack in a 4-meter area around the target, and inflicts Power of Light debuff to the hit target for 10 seconds upon successful attack, and it grants a Frostbite immunity buff to allies. So we have your Glorious Valkyrie. It increases critical hit rate by 24%, and also the Power of the Light decreases critical hit rate by 24%. And this is freaking nice, especially on certain bosses that have powerful damage, guys. And we got here some Frostbite immunity, in which this is freaking effective on PvP. Okay, so next, after that Helenia, that would be Phi, guys. So if you'll take a look at this Phi, we have here some attack speed that is 166, and the Phi is a melee type, and affiliation that would be 7 Knights of Old. So if you'll check here the basic attack, that is 500% of attack to the target, and this is freaking nice. And if you'll check here the crit hit attack, it deals crit hit damage equal to 800% of attack to the target, and inflicts Undying Flame debuff for 2 seconds upon successful attack, and it grants Agnes Spear buff to the caster for 2 seconds, and also inflicts the Play of the Dragonfire debuff on the hit target for 2 seconds. So Undying Flame, it decreases the final defense by 50%. So this is freaking good. Also, this Agnes Spear, it increases the weakness attack rate by 24%, and also the bonus damage rate by 24%. So this Play of the Dragonfire, it decreases the final attack by 30%, and also crit hit damage by 24%. So this is freaking nice, especially on certain bosses that have some insane damage, guys. Okay, so Phi is almost equivalent to a buff type support because of this decrease in final attack, especially on the Nightmare stage. Okay, so next we have here some active skill, Flaming Land. It grants a Blazing Victory buff to the caster for 10 seconds, and it deals damage equal to 3,000% of attack in a 5-meter area around the target, and it grants Flag of Victory buff to allies for 10 seconds upon successful attack, and also inflicts Burn debuff on the hit target for 10 seconds. So this Blazing Victory, the caster gains a shield equals 60% of max HP, and increases the final accuracy by 100% and critical hit rate by 24%. So we have here some Flag of Victory, increases attack speed by 24%, guys. And we have here some Burn. It deals damage equal to 20% of attack every 1 second. Okay. So guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. And we will maybe revise our tier list in the next couple of days. And also, I will be making also the top 7 units using Highlord Green, Highlord Rudy, Highlord Freya. So guys, that's it. See you again next time. Bye-bye.